If you've ever lived like this, if you keep telling yourself, just a little longer, after this project, after this pressure passes, after I make more money, after the kids grow up, after the weekend comes, after retirement, then I can finally relax, finally enjoy life, finally breathe like a real human being. Then don't be too quick to call yourself unfortunate. A lot of people are not unworthy of happiness. They have simply believed one large lie for too long. The lie is this: once I finish suffering through this season, then I can finally begin to enjoy my life. Mira believed that lie deeply. She was the creative director at a design agency, not the kind who only knew how to make slogans sound good. She was genuinely capable. She could carry difficult projects, solve emergencies, calm clients, and turn chaos into a proposal good enough to send. People at work called her reliable. Clients liked her. Her calendar was always full. Her phone was always lit. Her mind was always arranging the next thing. And she kept telling herself, just a little longer. After this quarter, after this big project, after the bonus arrives, after I finally stabilize my life, then I can start living the way I want. But strangely, that day never came. After one project ended, another appeared. After the bonus arrived, the next goal replaced it. When the weekend came, she did not rest. She worried that she was not resting efficiently enough. On vacation, she looked at the sea while answering messages. During meals, her mind kept editing presentations. Even in bed, some detail from tomorrow would suddenly rise up, and her chest would tighten again. It was not that Mira did not understand enjoyment. She just kept believing enjoyment had to wait until a more reasonable time. Then one Friday night, she worked at the office until almost 11. The whole floor was empty. Outside the windows, the city was bright, like a machine with no sleep function. She stared at a design file on her screen and suddenly felt everything go pale. Not fainting exactly, just one clear moment when she realized she had spent years without truly living inside today. She shut down the computer, picked up her bag, and did not call a car. She walked. A few blocks later, she stopped in front of a small restaurant that was still open. It was an old place. The sign was not very noticeable. There were a few plants by the window. Inside, only one woman was cleaning tables. Mira did not know why she opened the door. The woman looked up at her, as if she had been expecting her, and asked, "Are you here to eat? Or are you waiting until your life gets better first?" Mira froze. The sentence was too direct. So direct it was almost funny, and a little painful. She sat down and ordered a bowl of soup and a piece of toasted bread. When the food arrived, the woman placed a small card on the table. It said, "Happiness is not a prize you receive after the suffering is done. Happiness is a skill you practice now." Mira looked at the card. Her first reaction was to laugh. She was too tired to trust sentences like that. They sounded too much like motivational decoration. If life were really that simple, why would anyone still be in pain? The woman seemed to know what she was thinking. "You don't have to believe it," she said. "Just watch yourself." She pointed at the bowl of soup. "When you drink the soup, are you actually drinking the soup?" Mira did not answer, because just seconds earlier, she had been thinking about an email she needed to send tomorrow. The woman said, "That is the problem. Many people do not lack sweetness. They are simply not present when the sweetness arrives." That sentence quieted her. She looked down at the soup and, for the first time that night, tried to take one spoonful with nothing added. No work in the background, no phone, no planning the next step, just heat. Salt, the crisp edge of the bread, the feeling of her body finally sitting down. It lasted only a few seconds, but in those few seconds, she realized something. Maybe life was not completely without good things. Maybe her attention had been living on the side of lack. Later, the woman told her there are two circles in the human mind. The center circle is called what I already have. The outer circle is called what I still lack. Most people wake up with their eyes locked on the outer circle. I do not have that position. I do not have that money. I do not have that relationship. I do not have that body. I do not have the easy life other people seem to have. Stare at that circle long enough, and even what you already have begins to lose its shine. You have a glass of water, but you can only see someone else's champagne. You have a body that can walk, but you can only see someone else's expensive car. You are sitting here tonight, safe, fed, and alive, but all you can feel is not enough. The most dangerous thing about scarcity, the woman said, is not that it makes you want more. It makes you unable to see what is already in your hands. Mira did not change her entire life that night. She only took the little card home. Over the next few days, she began a small experiment. Every time she complained, she had to immediately name one thing she still had. At first, it felt stiff. This client changed everything again. Then she forced herself to add, "At least I still have the ability to handle this level of work. This coworker is dragging everything down." Then she added, "But there are also a few people here who are trying with me. I am exhausted." Then she added, "But I have a bed tonight. I have water. I am not living in a war zone." At first, the sentences felt fake, almost stupid, but slowly she noticed something strange. The complaints did not disappear, but they stopped following the old road. Before, one complaint would slide into another. A small problem would become a whole terrible life. One annoying person would become proof that the world was hopeless. One hard day would become evidence that she would never be okay. Now every complaint was followed by one act of noticing. Her brain was forced onto a different track. It was not pretending nothing was wrong. It was remembering, this is hard, but not everything is hard. I am tired, but I am not empty-handed. Today is difficult, but my entire life is not broken. That was the first change, not forced optimism, just the refusal to place all attention on lack. Later, the woman taught her the second thing: do not rely on willpower to change yourself. Use a mechanism. People do not change because they swear harder, the woman said. They change because one small trigger after another rewrites the path. She told Mira to write down 3 if-then rules. If I complain, then I immediately name one thing I still have. If my back touches the bed, then I read 1 page before touching my phone. If I want to answer a work message, but it is not urgent, then I drink water first and take 10 steps. At first, Mira thought the rules were too small to change a life. But the woman said, the brain is rarely rewritten by big ideas. It is usually rewritten by repeated small roads. Mira remembered that sentence because she finally understood why she had failed so many times. It was not because she lacked determination. It was because she knew how to shout at herself, but she had never learned how to build a path for herself. She said she wanted to sleep earlier, but kept her phone beside her pillow. She said she wanted to complain less, but ate lunch every day with the most negative people in the office. She said she wanted to read, but placed the book on the highest shelf and the short videos in her palm. She thought she was fighting laziness, but really she was living inside a badly designed environment and asking herself to behave like a saint. So she stopped only blaming herself. She began changing the process. The phone stayed out of the bedroom. A book stayed beside the bed. Lunch moved to a quieter place. The clearest hours of the morning were no longer spent answering weightless messages. They were reserved for the most important design decisions. Her life began to feel slightly lighter, not because the problems disappeared, because not every action required brute force anymore. The third change was the one that made her lighter in a deeper way. One day, the woman asked her, "How is that employee named Resentment doing in your mind?" Mira did not understand. The woman said, "Think of emotions as employees. If you keep one around, it must be doing some job for you. Anger might protect a boundary. Self-pity might preserve the position of victim. Resentment might let you feel morally superior. Judgment might keep you on higher ground, so you never have to face your fear. So ask yourself," the woman said, "what job did I hire this emotion to do?" That night, Mira went home and actually wrote it down. Why do I keep resentment toward my former manager? The first answers were ugly, because resentment made her feel right. Because resentment helped her believe the past failure was not her responsibility. Because by judging him again and again in her mind, she could pretend she was winning. Then she asked the next question: what does this employee steal from me every day? She wrote, sleep, focus, creativity, trust in new opportunities, a lot of peaceful nights. She looked at the page and felt how absurd it was. She had believed she was punishing him, but the person paying the salary every day was her. The next morning, she wrote one sentence: I fire resentment, not because he does not need to be responsible, but because I no longer want to pay an employee whose only job is stealing my life. That sentence did not make her instantly free, but it felt like a notice of termination. From then on, whenever resentment tried to come back to work, she would say in her mind, "You have been fired." It did not work every time, but slowly, certain people began moving out of her mind. The fourth lesson was rest. For Mira, this was the hardest one. She had always treated rest as a reward. Finish the work, then rest. Perform well enough, then rest. Reach the limit, then compensate with a little entertainment. The woman said, "That is not rest, that is repair after an accident." The highest performers are not people who endlessly force themselves forward. They manage energy. The clearest hours of the day should be protected for the most important work. Do not use gold to pave the road. Do not spend your best morning brain answering messages with no weight. Work needs blocks. 90 minutes is enough. When the block ends, stop. Not because you are lazy, because the brain is not an infinite battery. And when you rest, actually refresh. Scrolling on your phone is not rest. It is consuming yourself in a different posture. Real rest is water. Walking, looking at a tree through the window. Letting the mind stop receiving new input for a while. At first, Mira felt guilty when she stopped. She felt that pausing meant falling behind. But later she realized that after stopping, her work often became faster. Ideas that had been stuck began loosening while she walked. Important design patterns surfaced while she was doing nothing. Once, after a short nap, she woke up with the direction for a proposal that had trapped the team for 2 weeks. Only then did she understand, rest is not laziness. Rest is another part of the self, continuing to work below the surface. The fifth lesson was attention. The woman called it the committee of wakefulness. 10 minutes a day, clear the desk, put the phone in another room, sit down, close your eyes, relax the body first, then watch the thoughts come and go without chasing them. If a person you dislike appears, say inwardly, "I fire you, I forgive you, I no longer give today to you." If anxiety appears, look at it. Do not fix it immediately. Do not analyze it immediately. Just watch it pass like weather. Then remember one moment when you felt genuinely warm, maybe laughing with a friend, maybe the light of one evening, maybe a simple meal that made you feel safe. Breathe inside that memory for a while. After several weeks, Mira did not become a saint. She still got tired, still became irritated, still got angry at clients, but she now had somewhere to return. It was small, only 10 minutes, but it was like an inner room. When the world became too loud, she could go back there and sit. She could put down voices that did not belong to today. She could remove the emotions she had already fired. She could return her attention to herself. 6 months later, Mira's life had not become a fairy tale. She still worked, still faced clients, still dealt with difficult people, still watched many things refuse to follow her plan. But she was different. Before, she believed life was something you suffer through first and taste later. Now she knew that sweetness is not only waiting at the end. Sweetness is a skill. It is seeing what you already have before life becomes perfect. It is adding one sentence of gratitude after a complaint appears. It is firing the emotional employee that has been stealing your life. It is resting like a serious person. It is giving yourself 10 minutes a day to take your attention back from the world. Years later, someone asked her what the greatest cheat code in life was. Mira thought for a moment. Then she said, "Do not wait until the suffering is over to start living. If you cannot practice happiness now, more success will only make your unhappiness more expensive." This is Otherworld Radio. The awake person does not wait for the world to become sweet before learning how to enjoy it. She begins inside the small disorder of today. She gathers the mind back, fires resentment, lights up attention, and practices becoming someone who can actually live now.